Just set my foot in Narita International Airport, guys, and wow. Tokyo, you're greeting me with a bustling energy that's impossible to ignore. You can literally feel this city's pulse, even here at the airport, and that's something I didn't expect. On a lighter note, met the friendliest airport staff, so warm and attentive. Also got handed the cutest origami crane by a little girl who barely spoke a word of English, but was simply charming in her attempts to communicate with me. The airport itself is surprisingly serene compared to the energy outside. It has this underlying calmness I've always associated with Japan, the perfect juxtaposition, the rush and quiet coexisting. Another thing, thanks to the wafting aromas from the food court, I'm already craving sushi. Could anything be more Japanese? I'm determined to have some fresh sushi while I'm here. Japan has always intrigued me, from its harmony of tradition and high-tech to its mouth-watering sushi. And it's day one, just the beginning of my Tokyo adventures. Traveling, such a source of inspiration, right? I mean, look at the myriad people at the airport, each with their own stories, going about their lives oblivious to the fact that they're providing artistic stimulants to a casual observer like me. Tokyo's already making me feel so artsy, and I've just arrived. Maybe I'll find some downtime to capture a bit of this city's magic in my notebook. Maybe even paint my interpretation of the city. With the city's energy surging through me, my excitement is off the charts. Can't wait to hop on that train and properly begin my Tokyo adventure, guys. I'm going to try and catch the first glimpses of Tokyo's famous cherry blossoms. That's a must on my list. As they say, embrace the spirit of discovery, right? Well, I hope to fill the next few days doing just that. Losing myself to the charms of this city. Tokyo seems to overflow with life, just like my painting palette with vibrant colors. Experiences that I'm going to dive into, and who knows how they'll translate onto canvas or mold my thought process. Can't tell you how thrilled I am to be here solo. Unfamiliar streets to walk down, quirky cafes to discover, and just the luxury of losing myself in the crowds. It's one of the perks of solo traveling. You're the master of your time, free to bask in the joy of your solitude. Look at this place, it's absolutely beautiful. With an exciting morning of travel behind me, this green sanctuary in the heart of Tokyo is just what I need. Ah, the trees. They're towering above, providing a refreshing shade and creating an inseparable bond with the sky. Doesn't it feel like nature's cathedral? Breathe in and out. Pause and just listen to the rustling leaves, the songs of the birds, and the distant laughter of children. How magical it is to be engulfed in such tranquility amidst the city's constant motion. Just imagine painting these vibrant colors, the serene ponds and the stone statues in my canvas. My passion for art is more than a hobby. It's my escape, my therapy. Lately, the cityscapes of Seoul have been my muse, but this park, it has a different vibe. There's a simplicity and candidness in the midst of this apparent complexity. Each shade of green, each stroke of sunlight breaking through the leaves. How I wish I could capture them all in my palette. Back at home, amidst my hectic schedule, often the only silence I get is when I am engrossed in my paintings or during my meditation session every morning. But here, I feel a sense of liberation. Every rustling leaf, every fragrant blossom seems to be whispering a different story. They're softly nudging me towards seeking inner peace, to find a balance that I sometimes forget about. Makes me realize no matter where we are, what we do, we all need such instants, don't we? Just to slow down, to contemplate, to simply be. And you know what? I feel like these towering trees are acting like silent witnesses to 1,000 dreams, including mine. Looking up, I almost see my dreams of having my artworks displayed in a gallery brushing up against the blue sky. There's something extremely reassuring about this thought, as if the universe is listening and the trees are whispering back, it's all going to be all right. Such meetings of nature and dreams, it's inexplicably beautiful. Makes you believe in the journey and appreciate the now. Oh, there they are in their enclosure at the Ueno Zoo, those darling pandas. I can see why they're a favorite among visitors here. Such unique creatures, their silky black and white fur, almost as if someone's done a monochrome watercolor painting on them. I'm tempted to capture their gentleness in my own canvas, bring the beauty of their existence into my own artwork. Look at the way they interact with each other, beautifully bonding. It's similar to human relationships in so many ways, yet so different. No societal norms or judgments, only pure and honest communication. Yet, there's a spell of solitude that surrounds them. It's like they're involved in a deep conversation with themselves, finding peace within their individual existence. This solitude, it's something I can deeply relate to. The way one of the pandas is painstakingly nibbling at its bamboo lunch, it brings back memories of those peaceful afternoons from my own childhood with art books and paintbrushes. The intense focus, the connection with your internal creation, it's something I often lose sight of in my latest attempt to adult. Intensity, passion, connection. I could learn a thing or two from these pandas, couldn't I? I wish I could share this moment with someone. Maybe my childhood art teacher, Madame Jo, who'd probably draw insightful parallels between these loving creatures and the art of living. While I'm here, sitting on this bench, watching these pandas go about their day, I can't help but revisit one of my long-cherished dreams, to have my artwork on display, sharing the beauty I see, just like these pandas are doing right now. Being with these pandas, surrounded by the tranquility of nature, it's like an instant soul cleaner. The city's noise, the constant emails, the race against time, it all seems very far away right now. I can see my fears, up close. The fear of stagnation, of not reaching my full potential, and yet, in this moment, they feel insignificant, as if I've already overcome them, one step at a time. Walking into the Tokyo National Museum, I'm immediately taken aback by the sheer number of artifacts on display. There's just so much history here, each piece telling its own story. It's almost overwhelming, the feeling of tiny ripples of history colliding into a mighty wave of human creativity and endurance. If these artifacts could talk, what tales they would spin. As I stroll through the halls, my eyes are drawn to an exquisite porcelain vase from the Edo period. Its intricate floral patterns remind me of why I fell in love with art in the first place, and how it's always been a source of peace and inspiration for me. The sharp blues and whites mingling together, telling a tale of a time I've only ever read about. Out of the corner of my eye, I spot an old man, his gaze fixed on the same vase. A momentary connection forms, two strangers united by their appreciation for a piece of art that has withstood the test of time. I can't help but wonder about his story, his connection to the vase. As I study the vase further, I find myself daydreaming just for a moment about being in the Edo period, existing amidst the creation of these beautiful pieces. But then, the chatter of fellow museum visitors snaps me back to reality. I'm in Tokyo, in the present day, absorbing every bit of this enriching experience. The ceiling-high displays, the soft lighting illuminating the snaking dragon painted on a scroll from centuries ago, the quiet hum of visitors murmuring appreciatively. It's all a testament to humanity's attempt to understand its place in time. And right now, my place is here, in this amazing city, deeply inspired. Oh, wow. Look at this place. The Harajuku district is just teeming with life. Everywhere I look, there's just something new to see. From colorful garments displayed in store windows to the quirky fashion trends of the people strolling the streets, the vibrant pastels and neon hues seem to be a popular choice here, a stark contrast to Seoul's more minimalist and subdued palette. I could easily see myself blending in here if I embraced some of these bold colors and prints, seeing all this amazing fashion creativity around me. It really makes me think about my own art, about how I could push the envelope, challenge the norms. These eclectic styles, they're risks, they're bold, they're free, just like what I aspire my paintings should be. I'm feeling really inspired right now. Maybe I'll start a new painting series, drawing upon the fresh burst of ideas this district gave me. Now, that's something to look forward to when I get back to Seoul. Ciao. These random interactions with locals, and even tourists like myself, are so interesting. Their take on fashion, their views, it's also refreshing. Everyone's so friendly, too. Earlier, there was this girl who suggested that I try on a rainbow tutu. As wild as the idea was, it was an absolute riot. It's small moments like these that make traveling worth it. Can't wait for more such encounters. All I can say is, Tokyo, you're already exceeding my expectations. I just stepped into Tsukiji Fish Market and wow, this place is a bustling wonderland of seafood. Everywhere I look, there's something happening. There are sellers shouting out their prices, customers bargaining audaciously, and a variety of seafood I could never even imagine seeing in one place. I feel like I've plunged into a chaotic symphony of sounds, sights, and smells, all intertwined in a uniquely Tokyo way. Walking into Ginza is like walking into a glitzy art exhibit, only it's teeming with people and all that glitters is indeed gold, or at least designer goods. I've always had a thing for beautiful objects, even more so when they carry the weight of human creativity and effort. The grandeur of the building facades here is a spectacle to behold. This is definitely not my shabby local market back home. Oh, look at this window display. Beautiful, isn't it? Even though I'm not all about labels and designer brands, I must confess, there's something about such meticulous attention to detail that captivates me. The way they're not just selling products, but an entire lifestyle. And yet, I can't deny the tiny surge of adrenaline that bubbles up within me, hunting for that rare item that's so me among these high-end stores. And yet, there's a strange, liberating feeling about mingling among the nameless crowds. No one here knows me. I'm just one of the crowd. It's different from my regular life where my every move feels weighed down with expectations. Here, I am just Evelyn enjoying a stroll in Tokyo. A comforting thought, really. Time for me to move on. I wonder what's next on the agenda. Wow, this place, look at this view. Who knew skyscrapers could be so mesmerizing? They're like giant concrete trees that don't sway but stand tall, reaching for the skies. Skyscrapers as I've never seen them before. Roppongi Hills, you've outdone yourself. And I didn't believe when they said lunch with a view, but here we are, right in the heart of Tokyo, overlooking the hustle-bustle, yet so aloof. I was told that 37th floor has some amazing views, but never did I imagine this. Marveling at Tokyo's skyline one last time, I'm glad I took this trip. These backdrops will make amazing inspirations for my next painting. Honestly, the city has taught me more than I had expected. In terms of balance, of chaos and harmony, and the need to pause once in a while. I truly hope to carry these lessons forward, and yes, apply them to my thriving, chaotic, yet oh so rewarding life. Each day ahead is a blank canvas. It's time I paint it my way.